with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pick.
With the first pick,
now Evans in the slot. Winston picked off. It is Richard Sherman, who did not have an interception last year, and he returns it all the way for a 49ers touchdown, 32 yards.
That if you're a quarterback, not only is your job to throw the ball a long way and lead the team and give incredible motivational speeches and things of that nature, but it's also to make sure that you don't also give the same exact chance to the other team to win the game when it comes to turnovers, because he ranks 7th in the NFL when it comes to turnovers, 30 interceptions. So Jameis Winston, not only is he number 8 in the history of the game for most pass yards, which would say, hey, that guy, damn good quarterback. What are the names up there? Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, Jameis Winston, Matthew Stafford, Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes. You're talking about the greatest in the game. Jameis Winston is in there, and that's the upside of Jameis. But then you look at this number. It's like,
touchdown for Tampa Bay would win it. Only 3 points scored in the entire half. An interception for a touchdown. It's Debo Jones.
And he ties that 30-30, the first guy to do it.
Another LSU defender still ready to score touchdowns.
Yeah, you're right.
now official, Drew Brees, 42 years old, 15 years to the day that he signed with the New Orleans Saints, has announced his retirement from the National Football League.
And I remember him as an all-time great, Skip, that no one saw this type of career happening.
Before we get to anything else, we do have some breaking news into First Take this morning, and that is that, according to Adam Schefter, Jameis Winston has been named the Saints starting quarterback, and he will make his first start for New Orleans on opening day versus the Green Bay Packers.
That's right, baby. Hey, not all that means we got shot a little more. Hey, we just got shot a little bit more. Okay, that's all it is. That's all it means. You got to see it through, my boy. That's right. That's right. They beat up. I'm up, boy. Yeah, move on.
Left. Here is the play action fake. Brady throws the ball, caught by Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Here's the snap, and Brady has time. Just goes the back. Caught ball, touchdown, Tampa Bay. It's Leonard Fournette. Buccaneers defense, 4-man front.
All right, guys, welcome back here live at Ducky Sports Lounge, 1719 West Kennedy Boulevard in Tampa, as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are losing to the New Orleans Saints 16-7. And the big time story is not only the turnover situation with Tom Brady, 7 turnovers in his career versus the Saints, critical interception to give the Saints new life, but also former Tampa Bay Buccaneer quarterback and starting quarterback of the Saints, Jameis Winston, out of this game. Of course, I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Your thoughts?
A lot of turn events in this game. You think you game plan for one thing and something else does a whole 180.
Yeah.
You lose Jameis Winston on apparent ACL, MCL injury, and a tremor Simeon. Now what does the Saints have to do? They have to step up on defense to keep Brady from scoring on offense. They've done just that. They forced a fumble early, then forced the interception right there before halftime. The Saints are up 16-7.
Yeah, and it looked like the Bucs had a stop there with Antoine Winfield, but somebody has to explain this to me. Can you touch a quarterback anymore? Can you touch a quarterback? Can you touch a quarterback high? Can you touch a quarterback low? But if you look at the replay, William Golston's face mask is being jerked down. If you're going to call anything, call offsetting. They don't even call that. I mean, critical penalties at critical times. I get it. The Bucs shooting themselves in the foot, but Cleve Blakeman, you need to take the night off, my friend. Go out to Lens Crafters or something and get your eyes checked, because some of the penalties that are being called today are completely atrocious.
Well, yeah, just before that one, Peter, it was a call on Devin White for breaking up a play on the quarterback. It was called a roughing the passer, so they had 2 back-to-back roughing the passer penalties, and that equates to 30 yards and just penalties on that.
Yeah. What did you see on that play? It looked like Chris Godwin on the interception from Brady there to put the Saints in business right before halftime. Again, Brady 10 for 17, 127, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But it looked like the defender was holding Chris Godwin there, stopping his route. Tyler Johnson trying to get down the middle. He's had a pretty good game, made some big catches. Looked like holding. Once again, refs missed that call. You can't do that at a critical time, but that's a pass that I think Brady would want back throwing into traffic, right?
Oh, yeah, it's a timing route. You got to put that ball. The defenders are playing tight on your wideouts. You have to get the ball to your receivers in space.
Yeah.
Again, New Orleans knows that. That's why they're putting their hands on these wide receivers and messing up the timing. That play, they were fortunate enough to get away with. They did hold on Chris Godwin at the top of the route as he makes his break. Ensuing, Tyler Johnson can't clear out as well because he was pressed on his route.
Yeah.
It's just an interception. Great play by New Orleans. Perhaps they should have been more conservative on that and just went into the half down 3.
So happy Halloween. Trick or treat here live from Ducky's on NSPN and I Love St. Pete. The Bucs are losing to the Saints 16-7. Once again, Trevor Siemian in the game. Last time he actually played against Tom Brady in 2016. He actually outpassed Brady. They lost. The Broncos lost to the Patriots 16-3. But he's a serviceable quarterback. But of course, your game plan changes at that point. It's not like the Saints have done anything with Kamara at this point. Just once again, taking advantage of penalties, missed tackles. I mean, that's probably the most disappointing thing. Not only the turnovers and penalties, but the missed tackles in this game. And look, if you're going to throw to Kamara short, you got to stick them. Good job early to stop them on 4th down, but that yak is definitely catching up to the Bucs. They got to make sticks. They got to make tackles, and they're not doing that in this first half.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. You can ask the defense to keep doing that, but the offense isn't helping the defense. They're constantly putting them in compromising situations.
Right.
And they're not getting enough rest. An aggressive defense comes out when you're able to get enough rest. They're coming right back on the field after getting multiple stops after stops, and then they're put right back in the situation. 3 plays between each other, one with a fumble, then another off an interception.
Yeah, Brian Johnson with a 23-yard field goal to make it 10-7, and then Alex Amaya before the half there. What'd you see on it? You said, I saw that a mile away. Fullback out in the flat, wide open. I don't know where the coverage is at the point.
It was a complete bait play. They ran the play to Kamara before that. Fullback hadn't been in the game the entire game. You stick him down there in the red zone. Offense was heavy on the right side. You had the numbers were favorable. You had all your backers and defenders on the inside. So all you had to do was basically pick off with the wide receiver to pick off the pursuing defender to come over to cover the fullback, and it's just an easy dink and dunk pass for a touchdown.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Once again, Jameis Winston out of this game. He was mobile, quite mobile, 4 for 40. Even that penalty, and I get it, a lot of people emotional about it because Devin White, but that's not a horse collar. That's not a horse collar tackle. That's grabbing his shoulder pad at that point.
People forgot what actually a horse collar. Matter of fact, Peter, I think we ought to go on post on the page where the horse collar tackle came from. I think people need to remember what actually is a horse collar tackle.
Right, exactly.
That's not even close.
In the back.
It's in the back of it.
I'll pull you too.
Down.
Right, pulling
down.
We did that both together. We'll fix our time.
It's all good.
And we're live here. Halftime as
not
the
grabbing the arm, not grabbing.
Stop grabbing me. All right, let's go ahead and read out the comments here. We'll get you back to your second half of this game. Happy Halloween, Pete. Yeah, happy Halloween to you, buddy. How about this right here? How about that? Let's go out to Jesse here. We're losing to the Saints and the refs. Dave says, we aren't playing great, but the refs are playing great for the Saints. I mean, once again, it comes down to it.
Can't leave it in their hands.
But you have to be more disciplined. Yep. Sue has done that before. Just a little bit late on that, but I don't know what you tell a defensive lineman. Hey, kid, you want to play defensive lineman in college or high school or even the National Football League? You can't touch the quarterback. It's not going to work. It doesn't work.
I get what they're doing. They're trying to rough him up and stuff like that, but you got to remember what situations you are. You can't do things to leave yourself exposed to a ref making a bad call. He didn't need to do that. He wanted to do that.
Right.
But it's ticky-tack. But I feel the point that you're making, Peter, but you got to remember in the situations you are in this type of game, until you can get control of this game, you don't need to do anything that hurts yourself.
Exactly. Definitely hurt themselves on that. Bucs fans are punching the air right now, says Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Trojan legend. Winston needs to learn to take a sack. Just as I expect, the Bucs are losing against a real team, not playing against those garbage teams anymore. But you look, Troy Polamalu, once again, you're like the female from The Notebook. You can't decide what you want. You can't decide if you want to be a Bucs fan or you want to embrace this team, or they're bad. They play their schedule at this point, and this is what you get. Never satisfied, my friend. Never satisfied. Let's go out to Jesse J. Locklear. Horse collar and Jameis was a clean tackle. The interception should have been called back due to a hold. Frank Johnson, what's up, guys? Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Trojan legend. This is what happens when you play against real teams.
Saints are a real team.
Saints are a real team. We'll see second half of this game. We'll see what the Buccaneers can do. Christopher Cole, turnovers are killing us. Absolutely. Frank Johnson, we're just playing bad both sides of the ball. Not a good game. And we said it. Look, if you didn't clean it up, even though they're 4-2, if you have critical penalties at critical times, if you have turnovers, if you're not doing the things that you need to do to play winning football, you're going to lose to the Saints. They're well coached on both sides of the ball. Sean Payton, an offensive genius. Dennis Allen, a defensive coordinator. They have talent. They're not going to lay down to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have to go out and earn it.
Absolutely. They got to come out there and they start the second half and see how it goes.
All right. Seen at least 4 holding calls that weren't called. Christopher Cole, refs are a joke. Roger Shue, go Bucs. Facebook user, I believe this is Dave. So glad we got rid of that turnover machine. And Winston, he turns over the ball, puts their defense in a big hole. They can't get out. Laugh out loud, just messing with you. Don't shoot me. That's okay. Dave says Bucs should have 4 sacks on Jameis. Piss poor tackling. E-Rock says we got this second half adjustments. Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Trojan legend, and my real analyst been saying Bucs have played nobody, but you're not saying anything new. You're just saying the Bucs are playing their schedule. Okay, I don't know what you want at this point, Troy Polamalu, besides the troll. Tell you what, we'll read the rest of these comments on this post-game show coming up here live on NSPN and I Love St. Pete. Biggest key to this second half for the Bucs to win this game.
Well, it's easy now. You got to pretty much still contain Kamara and keep him where he's at. Don't hurt yourself by shooting yourself in the foot. And lastly, but most importantly, don't turn the damn ball over.
Yeah, you got to get some consistency. The running game has to get involved. You have to protect Brady. Too many turnovers by Brady. They got to play a clean game in that second half. We'll see what the Bucs can do as they're down to the Saints at halftime, 16-7. For the great Blake Anthony at Sports Talk 49, I'm your host, Peter Blake. Enjoy the second half of your game.
Breeze dropping as the pass. Oh, it's intercepted. Picked off by Devin White to the 40. Shoves a guy out of his way. Inside the 30. Devin White down the side.